The number one thing that I would say to anybody in the industry is that disability is not a technical skill. It's a lived experience.
When I see characters with disabilities, they often have these storylines that are very woe is me, and they're built to emotionally trigger the audience and be this inspiration porn. But people with disabilities are just human beings. I don't want people to feel sorry for me.
We are continually overlooked in the diversity inclusion discussion.
We're the largest minority in the world. We're only 2% of the speaking images you see on TV. Of those 2%, 95% are played by non-disabled actors.
We're here, and we have talent.
Representation is so important because I don't see people like me, and it's a reminder that I can do this.
Ready?
Yeah. Welcome to Able. I'm Callan Blair. I'm an actress living in New York City.
I'm Allie B. Gorey, and I'm an actress living in New York City who happens to be visually impaired.
Our goal is to make the entertainment industry a more inclusive place, one conversation at a time.
We hope to break down the stereotypes surrounding disability in film, TV, and theater. It's time to see art that mirrors all the people who support it.
It's time for Able.
We are in Fort Tryon Park. I live here, in the park.
Awesome.
Yeah, on this bench.
That's what I thought.
No future.
We want to know why you're an artist.
It was high school, and it was around my junior year, and I remember thinking, man, I suck at everything else.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends, they wanted to be teachers, and they wanted to go to school for poli-sci and med school and all of that. And I didn't see myself doing any of that.
Yeah.
I really only had an interest in singing, dancing, and acting. I started when I was young. When I was about 5 years old, I was enrolled in dance classes. I joined a professional tap company at the age of 10. My first musical was Annie. I was Daddy Warbucks. Yeah. I was in 4th grade, and the summer camp that I went to needed guys. Then going into middle school, I had this great drama teacher who really allowed me to explore the history of musical theater and how to really create art. I lost my leg when I was 19 years old. I was a sophomore in college at Montclair State, and I had a pain in my right leg, and I thought that I had fractured my leg from dancing. I had an x-ray taken, and that doctor said, go to Sloan Kettering, I don't want to touch this. And at Sloan Kettering, I had a biopsy, and I was told that I was being diagnosed with osteosarcoma, which is primary bone cancer. And everything had to get put on hold, and I left school. I was doing a show at the time. I only got through 2 performances, and I started to think about the next steps of my life, and still talking about my goals and what I wanted to do, but also, talking about my leg and my life now. Sometimes, shit happens. Can I say that?
I'm Peg-Leg Bates, the one-leg dancing man.
I had remembered a tap dancer called Peg-Leg Bates, and he tap danced with one leg. He lost his leg in a cotton gin accident when he was 12 years old, and his uncle made him a peg leg, and he taught himself how to tap dance. And I said, okay, well, if he can do it, so can I. I had a peg leg made for me, and I just started to reteach myself how to tap dance. Having one leg and learning how to tap dance again, it was a really positive thing for me to have, because, musical theater, it's fun. It's uplifting, it's outgoing. I was cast in a show. I was doing Sweet Charity while I was going through chemo, and I would get chemo during the day, and I'd go perform at night, and I'd have this backpack of fluids on. The head of the program was Clay James, and he did not, he used to come to the hospital and hang out with me and be there, but when I was at school, he did not care what I was going through outside of it. He was like, get your ass into class, and casting me in his show, Sweet Charity, was like, are you out of your mind? They had 4 weeks of rehearsal. I wasn't there the first 2 weeks of rehearsal. I showed up the last 2 weeks in and out of the hospital, and But that's, you know, the kind of guy he is, of not letting me slow down. You know, that was the best thing for me. It's interesting to kind of think about these things now, and, you know, if nothing ever happened to me, you know, maybe I would have had a Broadway show or something. I would have been in the ensemble or something, dancing and tapping. And it's definitely gone a little, you know, off the path here and there. And now I really have to recreate myself as an artist, and that's what I've been doing for the last 8-9 years now, trying to find those roles that are right for me, and even those roles that are wrong for me, and just trying to get casting directors or directors and, you know, producers to open their eyes and to say, we can do that, and maybe we can work with this, and maybe we could find, you know, a different way. And, you know, I mean, I went into this audition yesterday, and I went in for the role of the one-legged vet, as I always go in for. And I'm there, I'm in the waiting room, and I see other guys who are my type walk in with 2 legs. And this has gone on now
Forever.
For how long? And it's, you know, and one of those 2 guys will probably get the role. And then, you know, they'll just call in like a body double for whatever. I mean, we see it in film all the time. All the time. I just finished all my treatments, you know, years ago, and you know, I started trying to find myself as an actor now and get out there and audition. And I got a phone call from one of my doctors about a young up-and-coming actor who, you know, wasn't a big star at the time. He's a big star now. And he wanted to talk to me about my life experiences for an upcoming role that he has in a movie where he was playing a character who lost his leg and also had cancer. And I just, no, I don't want to coach you about what I just went through.
Right.
Casting director, just call me in.
Right.
For that. Whether or not you give me the role, you'll at least learn something about the project that you're casting. What I would love to say to casting directors is to ask more questions and to be open to what the actors have to offer. You know, I believe that there are so many ready, willing, and able actors that can do the job and offer so much more than, you know, some able-bodied actors. I think sometimes we're in this business, this industry where we pride ourselves so much on inclusion, but put your money where your mouth is. Someone up there, the man, you know, at the top, is afraid to take a chance. I think that they're a little too preoccupied with money and ratings. You know, what it's gonna look like on TV. You know, are they gonna lose the viewers? In actuality, I think what this country needs, as far as, you know, moving forward with disability, they need to see real working actors with disabilities. And think about how many people in our country that have disabilities.
20%.
20%. Exactly. While you're filming your shot, you know, in the real world, you're probably passing how many people that have disabilities?
A blind person, someone that is a wheelchair user.
It shouldn't have to be like a question of, oh, but we can't
like such a big deal.
do this, and make a big deal out of it because, oh, well, you know, we can't really hire this disabled person because there's going to be too much of a burden on us, and God forbid something happens, you know, we're all going to get sued. No, it has nothing to.
Well, yeah.
No.
And I think honestly, it's a lack of open conversations like this.
90% of the jobs that I wound up booking were because the casting director and the director asked me a question. They said, what can and what can't you do, and can you demonstrate right here? Yeah. And that was it. And then it was like, hey, you got the job. You know, because you can paint a picture for these people and they can say, okay, I can work within these limits and I can work outside of these limits, but look what this person also brings to the table. And that is the conversation that we need to be having to move forward.
Yeah, instead of how is this a burden, how is this an asset?
Right. For me, as far as legs go, the sky's the limit.
Evan, we have a game.
Okay.
This is word association. We say a word or a short phrase, and you say the first thing that comes to mind.
Oh, man.
Ready and go, Hollywood.
Big lights.
Broadway.
Bette Midler.
Love.
Family. My dog. My girlfriend. No, I'm sorry. Family. My girlfriend. My dog.
Dance.
Tap shoes.
Peg leg baits.
Don't look at me in sympathy.
Okay, you have
Do-
to
do-
unpack
do
that a
you
little
get
bit.
that?
You gotta unpack.
When every time someone does a documentary story like, on me, they always choose the same video of Peg Leg Bates where he's in this white tux and I'm always talking about Peg Leg Bates and I always say, and then there was this tap dancer Peg Leg Bates and it cuts to this ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, da-da-da-da, da-da-da. And then he goes,
Don't look at me in sympathy. I'm glad that I'm this way. For I feel good and I'm knocking on wood as long as I can say.
and my girlfriend always just makes fun of me. She's like, oh, here it comes. Don't look at me in sympathy. That's what I'm gonna have on my gravestone.
It's gonna just say Evan and Joe.
Don't look at me in sympathy.
Well, hey, would you tap for us a little bit?
All right.
Let's do
Sounds
it.
great.